just a little with you. Deeper Life came to Ghana in 1979. I was privileged to be a member in 1980. And from that time, we observed what was happening in the church. You will love to be part of the church. In fact, we're just few. I come and see dynamism, energy, come and see determination, and come and see commitment. Most of us were very young, very young. Maybe the national overseer who came in, he had some other leaders before first national overseer came in, outside overseer came in. He was also young. Maybe the time he came, he hadn't married. If national overseer was not married, then what about the rest of? No family commitment. No family commitment. That is, no, most of us we have not married, so no children. So we put everything in the cause of the cross, and we serve the Lord. If you heard and saw Deeper Life brothers and sisters preaching, you will love it. We preach with energy, we preach with dynamism, we preach with everything we had at our disposal. And when the church started growing up, so quite a number hadn't married. And those who had married had just little children. So the children did not pose any danger or difficulty or hindrance to their parents. And quite a number who hadn't married also, there was no hindrance from family commitment. So everybody put his best. And that made the messages and the teachings plain, clear, with authority. Preachers and teachers did not swallow any word that ought to have been given to the congregation. Let me explain it a bit here. You know, when I said swallow, did not swallow any word. At times, if a preacher is preaching, or when a preacher is preaching, and then it gets to a particular statement, and if that affects that preacher, will affect him or her, and that preacher is not so sincere, he will not be saying those things, because the wife may be there, because the husband may be there, or the children who are grown up may be there. So when they hear mommy or daddy saying certain things, they may say, hey, is that daddy saying those things? So is that mommy preaching like that? Yeah, we will get to the house. Now, because of that, to avoid that, the daddy or mommy may not say those things so that the children will not come at him or her. But when you don't have a wife, you don't have a husband, the children are not around, and there are certain things you want to say. Whether you have been doing it or not doing it, you just say it. Because nobody is there to look at you twice. So those were the things that were happening in those years. But when we were coming up, the church was coming up into our latter times now. Quite a number of the preachers had married. And they have given birth to children. And their children are no more toddlers or kids. They are growing up to become teenagers. Now, because of that, it's been affecting many preachers. They are not free in preaching and teaching the word. Because there are a lot of things that are happening that if they should say it, it will be going against them. So they may not say them. And that is affecting the church terribly. And so I want to say something. That if we are able to have children and train them very appropriately, and they are children who are godly, fear the Lord, you realize that if you are doing God's work, you can do it very well. You do it with joy, you do it with excitement, because you have control over your family. Your wife can testify that my husband is a godly man. Your husband can also attest to the fact that my wife is a virtuous woman. And your children can say, praise the Lord. We have that the mom as our parents. When we see mom preaching, when we see daddy preaching, we are so happy and excited that we want to be like them. If things are like that, my brother, my sister, that church will be growing. That church will be having progress. And quite a lot of hindrances that have been affecting churches will be taken away. That is why if there is a program like this, then all of us must attach all the importance to it. Because if we are able to have the knowledge and understanding of how best to bring our children well, and especially our adolescents, the teenagers, if we're able to handle them very well, and they understand us, and they flow with us, you will realize that any work we are doing for God will be highly effective. It will be profitable, and we shall receive the reward from God in Jesus' name. The first subject I want to talk about is training difficult and wayward youth. Training difficult and wayward youth. So we want to see how we can train youth who are difficult, who are wayward. Before I proceed, I want to make it quite interactive. That is, I'll be expecting you to be, contributing, so that at the end of it all of us would have contributed to the subject. Just feel free. Look at me. Don't take your eyes from me. You know why? At times, you may think that if you look at me, I'll call you to answer something. I won't do that. In my class, in my class, like as you are my class, I want to see that everybody is relaxed, so that you can concentrate on what is going on. So nobody will be embarrassed here. So if I see that you are not able to answer, that's okay, no problem. When we talk of youth, who can explain it? Because the topic is training difficult and wayward youth. Though it's the interpreter has interpreted it, yet I want to know the meaning. What is it? When we talk of you, what do you understand it? Yes. So that I'll know the understanding of my class, then we know how to move on. We are talking of you. Yes. Who can tell us youth? Who are the youth that we are going to talk about? The specific persons we are going to talk about here. Yes, anyone with any idea? We have mentioned youth, but how do you understand it? Okay. That is, you are taking care of such persons. Yes, he cannot take care of himself or herself. So such persons are the one we are talking about. Any other idea? The you? Yes. Okay, thank you very much. With that idea, it's exactly that. We are going to address people who are normally in junior high school and senior high school. And apart from that, they might have completed senior high school and junior high school. Even some can be in the university. And still they fall into that category of being youth, because you as parents are the ones taking care of them. And so when we talk of youth, let your mind get or gauge into what level we have just brought this study. However, I know some of us are here who have children who are not yet teenagers, who are not yet adolescents. And so when we are talking, we'll try and bring it to that level too. Because if you have children, not yet you for teenagers or adolescents, and you don't work on them, now it means that you are going to have turbulent, troublesome, difficult youth when they get to that age. So we'll be talking mostly on the youth. However, we will be coming to children and then try to see certain things as the basis of the foundation. So training difficult and wayward youth. Proverbs chapter 29. Verse 17. Proverbs chapter 29. Verse 17. Correct thy son, and he shall give thee rest. Yea, he shall give delight unto thy soul. So when we're talking of a difficult youth, we are talking of that individual who will not give rest to you as a parent, who will be disturbing you and bringing you trouble. You can't have a peace of mind. You'll be there and somebody will come and tell you, hey, Mami Ashma, see your daughter or your son. Go and see him fighting seriously outside there. Hey, when I was going to that place on the way, I saw quite a lot of people had gathered. What was happening? Amiata, it was your son. Oh. They had arrested him, and the way they are beating him, I'm afraid. He said he had gone to steal something over there. You know, that son will not give you rest or peace. Now, when we talk of wayward, The child might have been very good some time ago. He might have had a good character. In fact, when the child was in the primary school, when the child was in the children's section in the church, the child was very dedicated and committed. But when the child entered into the junior high or entered into the senior high, things have taken a different turn altogether. This child is now misbehaving. Sunday, this child will not go to church. This child will be at home and be watching the telly, movies, and a whole lot. And the way the child has become stubborn, you'll be there and the authorities in his school will send for you. You will get there and they say, hey, your daughter or your son has been going outside the school without a zeal. Your child has become wayward. He or she is no more towing the line of discipline. How can we train such persons? Children who are so difficult at home, they will never obey any instruction and bringing a lot of embarrassment to the family, and it's now affecting your Christianity. You are ashamed to be holding Bible. You used to go outside to be preaching and telling others about Jesus. But now when you are going out, they say, physician, heal thyself. Physician, heal thyself. So that is what is happening now. And it is health. Who can help us when we talk of difficult and wayward youth? Who can give us some examples? Yes. I'm not saying they are your children. No, at least you have seen, you might have heard, you might have read about them, wayward and difficult children. Oh, they say,
It's inside the pulpit there.
yes, okay.
I put the battery there.
Enti dear no ye, dear no ye, any me who say waboko.
Also anema, and now or just got the trouble didi. Just o kosini or ko anema, and say anka o unjaya onyen. Nina who ye.
Okay. Okay, that's all right. No, that means that the child, you can take care of the child, you can feed the child, you can dress the child, you can do everything. But now the child has left home and is gone somewhere, carrying load at the market, and people will meet him or her. Is that not so and so's child? And they will come and tell you, so you can't take care of your child anymore. And look at what your child is carrying load to get money to buy food. And yet that is not the situation. You are well able to cater for this child, but look at what he is doing. That is an aspect of it. So tell me, difficult youth, yes. At the back, okay.
Praise the Lord.
Hallelujah.
Obo say fie no wo kan wanting into the best abonten enti ndamfo a ense so de ne ho kɔbɔ no no ene na ɔde ɔho bɔ no na wo ka bibi ɔbɛka kyerɛ sɛ me pesika me hia sika ntem ebi a me kɔto no ɔse ma wo fo ehiafo enti me pesika ntem enti wa wie school to aso ɔse me nto aso me pesika ntem enti abɔfra we free fie ne maame hɔ akɔka kɔbɔfo no ho. And I saw my back, I said, one trefie cry. Now, Sakubo ni abofra no, or no, a jarry and fan of home. Why any timpers a pense? Bibia basa. What we are the mamma cry, what's Yana wants you have own room, Bobby. Sakurana just our walk one casa.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much. So, our sister has explained that when we talk of these wayward children, I've left the house, say the word money, fast money. He has completed school, either junior high or senior high. The parents want him or her to continue. But he says, no, we need money. So he has gone finding his way out, and then so that he can get money. And he has aligned himself to the area boys. And come and see unkept hair, or he has made the hair in a particular way, what they call rasta and others. And that is the waywardness. Yes, apart from the waywardness, difficult youth. Who are they? Yes.
But your difficult youth amount who say, or see, or you see, be a friend who say, I won't go. You want to go a grosso, and I said, be a friend in Bible. Secondly, so a few horns when we saw non casa akofa, Kudua, out the acosti, Colenum. O some pabo atiti any nia or the kogu or the akosha kotoko on one kasa akoton will be a akoda on one kasa or very difficult want to mean kasa chireno.
Thank you very much. So I think we have heard of mommy as well. The difficult youth. Yes, any other? Yes. Okay. Okay, thank you very much. They insist on having their own way. It's not what daddy will say. It's not what mommy will say. It's not what the church leaders will say. He goes his own way. He does his own thing. These are difficult children. Yes, youth. Right, let's get into scriptures. 1 Samuel chapter 2. Verse 12 to 17. 1 Samuel chapter 2. Verse 12 to 17. Now the sons of Eli were sons of Belial. They knew not the Lord. Let me finish then. Yeah. They knew not the Lord, and the priest custom with the people was that when any man offered sacrifice, the priest servant came while the flesh was in seething with a flesh hook of 3 teeth in his hand, and he struck it into the pan or kettle or cauldron or pot. All that the flesh hook brought up, the priest took for himself. So they did in Shiloh unto all the Israelites that came thither. Also, before they burnt the fat, the priest servant came and said to the man that sacrificed, give flesh to roast for the priest, for he will not have sodden flesh of thee, but raw. And if any man said unto him, let them not fail to burn the fat presently, and then take as much as thy soul desireth, then he would answer him, nay, but thou shalt give it me now. And if not, I will take it by force. Verse 17. Wherefore, the sin of the young men was very great before the Lord, for men abhor the offering of the Lord. Verse 22. Now Eli was very old, and heard all that his sons did unto all Israel, and how they lay with the women that assembled at the door of the tabernacle of the congregation. So here is describing about the sons of Eli. Now, when people had gone to the temple to offer sacrifice to God, they should have allowed the altar to burn the sacrifice for the Lord. But Eli's sons and his friends, in fact, he will send his friends to the temple that they should go and get the meat, the fresh one, before they burn them for the Lord. For them. That ought not to have been so. But Eli and his sons will by force get it from the people who had come to offer sacrifices. More so, Eli, the high priest of God, the one God had been speaking to, for him to also be speaking to the people, his own children, 2 sons, the women who were in the temple serving the Lord. These 2 men, boys, will be sleeping with the women. To make it more abominable, the high priest of the land. His own sons, children sleeping with the women in the temple. It was highly dangerous. And in Proverbs 19:26. So that had described the difficult and wayward youth. Just imagine the sacrifice that should be given to God. They were by force taking them and sleeping with the women who were serving in the temple. What waywardness was that? Proverbs 19:26. He that wasted his father and chaseth away his mother is a son that causeth shame and bringeth reproach. He that wasted his father and chaseth away his mother is a son that causeth shame and bringeth reproach. So we describing difficult and wayward youth. There are some boys or even girls, never would they obey their fathers. The father needs help, but they will not render the help. Some of them will take machete or cutlass. Then they will be running after their mothers. Some will say, "Mother, I went to a place and they say you are bewitching me." Then they will take machete running after them. They want to slaughter and kill their own mother. I think quite recently I was told that there was a young boy, who killed the mother and slept with the mother. Killed the mother, slept with the mother, so that he will have money. Now look at it. Waywardness and difficult children. And in Proverbs chapter 30, I'm reading verse 11. There is a generation that curseth their father and doth not bless their mother. There's a generation that will curse their mother, their father, and will not bless their mother. They open their mouth and they are cursing their parents. These are difficult and wayward youth. There was some time ago, a mother and a father came to me. They were all workers in the church, in our church. And they had a teenage daughter. And this teenage daughter had been giving them hell and trouble. She befriended the area boys, and particularly an Aplanke boy. And this girl will give herself, if you saw this girl, so beautiful, will just throw herself to the boy, a Aplanke boy, area sweet boy. And they will be sleeping with her. At times, the mother told me, at times the daughter will come home and the daughter is so light and pale, knowing that the boys have really done work on her. They were not giving her anything, and yet she'll be going. The mother a worker, the father a worker. They were so disturbed and they were so troubled. They had said everything that they could say. They had done everything that they could do. The father was doing a good work and could take care of this daughter. And yet this daughter was just misbehaving like that, giving trouble to the parents. Somewhere along the line, the father died. But I know the father died out of the behavior of the daughter. Difficult and wayward youth. I've had quite a lot of instances where we have had youth who have been very, very stubborn, very evil against their parents. Maybe you have one around you and you know how they behave. Let's go to point 2, the attitude and character of trainers of wayward and difficult youths. Those who are to train the wayward and difficult youths, what attitude should we have? What should be our character? You know, our brother did the introduction that I have been with the youth for about 30 years in the church. And I told you when I came to the church, 1980, I was so young, so small, but I've spent some time in the church. There is something I have found out that will ameliorate or bring down or reduce the effect of the behavior of the youth. Most often than not, we realize that when the teenagers, the adolescents, the youth have become difficult and wayward, we are looking left and right, searching for some magic wand in a way so that we just press some button and then things start happening and our daughters and sons will change just like that. Some parents will rush the child to some so-called man of God to pray so that whatever is happening within the daughter or son will be eliminated, will be removed. Other parents will go to the mountains, be fasting and praying, fasting and praying, fasting and praying, so that there will be an impact upon the daughter or son for that child to change. All those things are good. It's good when you face up with turbulent youth like that. It's good to pray. In fact, without prayer, nothing good will happen. We need to fast. Whilst praying and fasting, yes, indeed, the Lord will intervene. But there is something I found out. It's so practical. If you are able to abide by that, no matter who they are, no matter how wayward or stubborn our youth may be, there will be a change. I remember I came the other time, I quoted Proverbs chapter 15, verses 1 and 2. And I want to repeat it. Proverbs 15, 1 and 2. My brother, read it. Two. A soft answer turneth away wrath, but grievous words stir up anger. The tongue of the wise useth knowledge aright, but the mouth of fools poureth out foolishness. A soft answer turneth away wrath. Most often, the parents aggravate the situation at home. They make the situation become worse with much talking. When they see the misbehavior of their daughter or their son, they will talk from morning till night. Whenever they see the face of this son or daughter, they will start talking and talking and talking. My mommy, my daddy, my uncle. Talking on your wayward or difficult boy or girl will not solve any problem. It will rather aggravate the situation and harden the heart. where we read, is clear. A soft answer turneth away wrath. The child may so provoke you, but you need to be calm. We are looking at the attitude and character of trainers of wayward and difficult youth. And I remember when I read this, I made a picture of it. I said there was one time a man and a wife went to town to do shopping. The woman was driving the vehicle. So they parked the vehicle at a particular car park. Now, when they parked the car and they were about to come out, a policeman came around and stopped the two of them. He said, "What do you mean? Why should you park the car here? Don't you know this place is for the public, the municipal bus, the big bus that should park here, not these small ones or private cars?" So the policeman was furious, angry, shouting on top of his voice on the lady and then the husband. Meanwhile, there was a signboard indicating that that place was for the municipal bus. But that signboard had fallen down. It was no more standing, it had fallen, and you couldn't see the writing. So if the policeman was a correct policeman and knew his job, he should have arranged for the signboard to be erected so that people who would come there would know that this place is not for small vehicles but for buses. And yet he was shouting on top of his voice against the lady and the husband. So when he was addressing and shouting on top of his voice against the lady and the husband, the lady wanted to speak, to reply the policeman, but the Spirit of God checked her because she was a believer. Then the Spirit sent her to this verse, Proverbs 15:1 and 2. A soft answer turneth away wrath, but grievous words stir up anger. So the woman looked at the policeman and said, "Sir, you are right. We are at fault. We shouldn't have parked our vehicle here. We are very sorry. We shall not do that again. We will take our car and move it from this place." Once again, sir, we are very sorry. So they were going into the car to move the car from the place. Then the policeman stopped them. "Stop, lady. Let the car be there. Go to your shopping. Go and do your shopping. You can go. After all, the bus is not coming now. I'll take care of your vehicle for you." So they went and did their shopping. The policeman, who was so angry, when there was soft answer, the soft answer melted him, and he even became a guard over the vehicle for them. How our marriages would have gone to the height. How our husbands would have loved us dearly. Like our husbands would have loved us dearly. Our husbands would have loved us dearly. And our wives would have cherished us so much if we had had soft answer to situations. There are some of us, when somebody provokes us, we want to go the same level to show that individual we are not small. You want to show your child you are not the child, but he rather is the child. So when they say something, we also aggressively bring a reply. When we do that, there will be no peace in the home. Let's take it coolly, and there will be a change. When we answer quietly, it brings changes. There was a man of God by name David Wilkerson. He was an evangelist. He was preaching here, preaching there. And he was going to the slums in the US to be preaching to gangs and armed robbers. He set his eyes on armed robbers. He knew where they were, their bases, and would invite them, their leaders and the other gangs, to his crusades. He was constantly doing that, inviting them to his crusades. This man, Wilkerson, did it to a point that one time a particular gang, he gave the offering bags to them. He knew they were gangs, and yet he gave it to them at the time of offering for them to collect the offering. And there was a particular gang, their leader was by name Nicky Cruz. Nicky Cruz. He had killed and maimed many people. He was a very dangerous man. And yet this evangelist, David Wilkerson, will go and invite him and his gang to come to his crusade. And he showed so much love to Nicky Cruz. He so loved him and was always praying for him. One day, this man Nicky Cruz, the gang among the armed robbers there, came and confronted this evangelist and said, "Man of God, I'm warning you, don't pester us again. Don't come and worry us again. The next time you come with this Bible and other things, I'll kill you." Then this man, David Wilkerson, look at the face of this armed robbers leader, Nicky Cruz, and then look at his face and said, "Nicky, if you kill me and then you cut my body into pieces, every piece you cut will tell you I love you." Not long, this man Nicky Cruz got converted. He became born again. Not only born again, he became a preacher of God. And now he has been traveling nations to be preaching the gospel. And he has written a lot of books now. Now, what brought about it? Someone's character, someone's godliness, someone exhibiting love melted him. So this man, the leader of armed robbers, became a minister of God. What am I saying? How can we train? How can we change these difficult and wayward youth? It's how we behave, response towards them. I remember the other time I came, I shared something in my own life. When I was in the secondary school, in the sixth form, I was a believer, a Christian, a child of God. And I always determined that I would let the students know that Jesus is Lord. And I demonstrated by God's grace that a young boy, a young person could have Jesus and could make impact. I can say there was revival in that school because I knew I had a philosophy that one person could make a difference. So by God's grace, the life I lived in that school was exemplary. It was a mission school. Yet they found that somebody had been in their midst who was very exceptional, very different. One day, the sports prefect, that's one of the prefects, he was on duty with other seniors. In schools, every week, we have some number of people who will be on duty, that is, will take charge of whatever needs to be done in the school within that particular week. Every week, new names were mentioned. And I was the assistant senior prefect in the school, so it was my duty to be mentioning the seniors on duty. So one particular time, I was in the cubicle, my dormitory. Then the sports prefect, who was the head of the seniors on duty, came to me. He said, ASP, something has happened at the dining hall. I said, what happened? He said he gave a command that no students should bring food outside. That they shouldn't bring food from the dining hall to their dormitories. 2 girls, 5 girls, were bringing their food out. I ordered them that they shouldn't bring the food. They just dumped the food there and then just went away. No, they didn't take the food away. They just dumped it there, they put it there, and they went away. I was calling, they didn't mind me. So I sent for the 2 girls to come. So the 2 girls were standing like this, and then the prefect was here. Then I addressed them. Listen very carefully. I said, my dear ladies, the sports prefect, who was senior on duty, the head of the senior on duty, has made a report to me. He told me that he had ordered that nobody should send food outside, and the 2 of you were doing it. Now, when he confronted you, you just dump the food there and then walk off. Why did you do that? I asked the 2 girls, why did you do that? Now, listen to what they said. Listen very carefully. They say, ASP, in this school, everybody knows whom you are. How you respect everybody in the school. Before you talk to us, the way you will say please before you speak. We are all aware of your character and your behavior. But this prefect did not demonstrate that. He was just shouting on top of his voice, that manner. So we were embarrassed. We were embarrassed, we were ashamed. Not that we were flouting his orders. In fact, the reason why we went out was that we were so ashamed, as if the earth should be open for us to be swallowed up. The embarrassment. So we wanted to avoid the embarrassment. That's why we just left the food there and walk away so that the shame will be erased. When she said that, I was flattered. Just imagine. Human being. I didn't know what to say immediately. But then I had to say something. I said, in spite of that, you should have gone to him, explained things to him. I know he would have understood. So please, don't repeat that next time. I told them to apologize to the prefect. They did it, and the case was settled. But what am I bringing out here? They said, we all know your character, the way you address us, the way you talk to us. My dear parents and uncles, the adolescents, the teenagers, if you take them for granted, If you think they are small, they are like this, they are useless, you are in trouble. They will always resist. But when they see a mark of respect from you to them, they also respect you. Many parents are not able to help their teenagers or adolescents because they still see them as little toddlers on their laps. They are small. What do they know? Only yesterday you came. You want to show that you are somebody. Who are you? You came to meet me. I'm the father who feeds you. I'm the mother who takes care of you. And look at you, you think you are complete, you are more than I. So many mothers and fathers talk by heart anyhow. That's why we are losing the battle. That's why the distance is extending. But when there is respect, when there is regard, yes, you gave birth to them, but speak with a maximum of respect, and they will also pay you back the same level. They will respect you because it is said, respect begets respect. And if you talk to your teenagers and adolescents in a manner that there's reverence, I tell you, you always direct them. Then there should be godly and transparent life. That is holy life. Parents and those who are taking care of youth or adolescents or teenagers, the secret of being able to impact and affect the young ones is to live a godly life. If we do not have this, it will be difficult to train them. It will be difficult to really get them the way God wants them to be. And their waywardness will be increasing. And it will be degenerating. 1 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 1. 1 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 1. For yourselves, brethren, know our entrance in unto you. Please, those with the tree Bible, follow as I read. For yourselves, brethren, know our entrance in unto you, that it was not in vain. But even after that we had suffered before, we were shamefully entreated, as ye know, at Philippi. We were bold in our God to speak unto you the gospel of God with much contention. For our exhortation was not of deceit, nor of uncleanness, nor in guile. But as we were allowed of God to be put in trust with the gospel, even so we speak, not as pleasing men, but God, which trieth our hearts. For neither at any time use we flattering words, as ye know, nor a cloak of covetousness. God is witness. Nor of men sought we glory, neither of you, nor yet of others, when we might have been burdensome as the apostles of Christ. But we were gentle among you. Verse 7. But we were gentle among you, even as a nurse cherisheth her children. So being affectionately desirous of you, we were willing to have imparted unto you, not the gospel of God only, but also our own souls, because you were dear unto us. For ye remember, brethren, our labor and travail, for laboring night and day, because we will not be chargeable unto any of you, we preach unto you the gospel of God. Ye are witnesses, and God also, how holily and justly and unblameably we behaved ourselves among you that believe. As ye know how we exalted and comforted and charged every one of you, as a father doth his children, that ye would walk worthy of God, who had called you unto his kingdom and glory. Praise the Lord. This is Apostle Paul. He was writing to the church in Thessalonica, and he made them to know his manner of life, the way he behaved towards them. In fact, the Thessalonian believers were very exceptional believers, because Apostle Paul had made an impact in their lives. And Paul was showing them the secret. He said, "Ye are witnesses." In verse 7, he said, "But we were gentle among you, even as a nurse cherisheth her children." We were gentle among you, even as a nurse cherisheth her children. Verse 10, "Ye are witnesses, and God also, how holily and justly and unblameably we behave ourselves among you that believe." My dear ones, these young ones, they observe very well. Our daughters and our sons. It is as if they don't see what we do or what we say. You see, there are certain things that makes them to be stubborn, rebellious, and difficult. Especially when the parents can preach, can teach, and their lives are opposite. So they are always confused. They become rebels. They become difficult. They become wayward. They were not like that some years past. But later on, their lives have become a different thing altogether. Because mommy's life has become something else. And daddy is behaving in a way they know is not biblical. And mommy is almost insulting them and almost cursing them. And mommy will add up, "Give your life to Christ." To them, it's rather mommy who should give her life to Christ. But when there is godly and transparent life, holy life, the words we bring out towards our teenagers and adolescents, it becomes so magnetic that it attracts them to us and then attracts them to Christ. So this is very key. If we live transparent, holy lives, we will be able, by God's grace, bring our children who are teenagers and adolescents to the way of the Lord. Another point is have knowledge of teenagers. You see, quite a lot of parents have forgotten when they were teenagers. So we don't know how to deal with the teenagers. We are surprised as to their behavior they are putting up. So the question comes, who is a teenager? When we talk of the teenager, we have already given some descriptions to that. They are neither children nor adults. They are in the middle. You know, the body parts have started developing. And because of that, certain things are strange and queer to them. They have reached a stage that they want to be accepted. They want to be accepted. They want people to regard them. They want people to accept them. That's why most often than not, you may say certain things, but their friends will say some other things. They want to take what their friends are saying so that their friends will accept them. That is the stage they have reached. It's natural. And they feel they are independent. They have arrived, they have grown. So there are no more children that could be ordered about. Do this, sleep there, stand here. So when you are a parent, you are not careful. And you are not aware, and you don't know who a teenager is. And they are behaving in a particular way. You may think they are disrespectful, they don't want to respect your orders. That is not it. The stage in which they are in has made it to be so for them. So we need to understand that. When we understand that the stage in which they are in, they want to be accepted, they want to be regarded. The way we talk to them, we shall talk to them like friends. With respect. Because if you don't do that, you still give them the orders. Hey, go there, oh, sleep there, hey, come in, oh, do that. The friends outside there, they speak to him or her in a special way. So they will get to the side of their friends than getting to your side. That's why at a point in time they want to move away from their daddies, because daddies are like commanders, commanding them here and there. They don't like that. The age in which they are in. And if there is any gentleman outside, any man or boy outside who will speak with respect towards them, nicely towards them, they are always going to that place. You know, I told you of that lady who was going to area boys, the Aplanke, the nice, beautiful girl of brother and sister in the church who were workers. I told you of. You see, but the boy would have been or might have been saying sweet words to her. And the parents may not be doing that. And when it's like that, they want to get to where they will hear good things, nice, sweet things. And that's going to bring trouble in the house. So have knowledge of teenagers. They want to dress in a particular way. They want to dress in a particular way. Because they said in which they are in, that's how things are with them. And they want to experiment things. And they want to follow their friends, peer. And because of that, the way their friends dress, they want to dress that way. So your teenager may be in this church. At a point in time, the dressing may be changing. Mommy, daddy, let us be calm. Leaders in the church, let us be calm. And let us sit down and address the issue with them, one-on-one, jaw with them. And explain things much to them. Rather than giving them orders. Hey, we say we don't dress like that. We don't dress that way. If you dress that way, it's like this. No. It's not like that. Because their friends are going that way. Why can't she do that? That's why we need to have the knowledge for them. All these things will be training will be given to them. Then be long suffering. Long suffering, mommy. Daddies and leaders over the youth, long suffering. Let our prayer be, Lord, give me accommodating heart. That God give me accommodating heart. Then large heart. Then endurance. And then tolerance. Lord, help me to be patient. Because they will always be making mistakes. The stage in which they are in, they will always be erratic. They will always be emotional. They will always make mistakes. When they do, have a large heart to accommodate the mistakes, so that you don't become overbearing on them and start shouting. You know, parents, if you're overbearing, shout. Now shouting will not solve anything too. So let us bear with that. So our prayers should be, Lord, give me that large heart. Let me be long suffering, so that I can bear with my daughter. I will bear with my son. I will have all the heart I have, that no matter what they say or do, I will not, react in a wrong way. And then don't take them for granted, but respect them. Please, we gave birth to them, yet let us respect them. Let's talk to them as we are talking to our equals. Then demonstrate agape love towards them. Agape love means unconditional love. You send them in the morning, they didn't run your errands for you. In the afternoon, they need their school fees, give it to them. In the afternoon, you sent him or her to do something, he failed to do that. In the evening, give him or her the dinner or supper, prepare and give to him. That means your love towards him is unconditional. It's not standing on anything. It's not because of what he's doing for you. Don't say, Kojo, you will suffer. You see, I've been buying new things for Richard. Richard is a very good boy. Any place you send him, he goes. I'll be buying for him. This dress will remain with you. You keep on doing that, being rebellious and difficult. No, you don't do that. If you are buying for Richard, who is good boy, buy same for Kwejo, who is rebellious. And if you demonstrate this agape love, it will affect them. With prayer, they will change. And it will be easy to correct them. Let me say once again, if you're able to go through these characteristics and attitude, it will be very easy to correct our teenage, wayward, and difficult children. And as God helps us, it will be well with us. Once again, when I was in the secondary school, as the assistant senior prefect, there were some stubborn boys in the school. If there will be demonstration, they will spearhead it. If there was anything rowdyism, they will be there. And I realized, how could I have control over such people? And then I will be deciding what to do. At times when lunch delayed for the students, I would go to my cubicle there, prepare some soakings, student food soakings. Then I will let them be in my cubicle. Then I'll go and call those stubborn boys. You know, that time everybody will be hungry. So I'll select those stubborn, tell them to follow me to my cubicle. So they wouldn't, what's ASP calling us for? Going to punish us or what? Then I'll lead them into my cubicle there. I had already prepared the soakings. I'll tell them to sit down. A place for them to sit. They will sit down. They sat down. Then I'll open, then I'll be telling them eat. Most of the time they were wondering, what's happening? But I'll encourage them, just eat. I know you'll be hungry and I'll prepare for you. They will eat. From that moment, the respect the reverence they would give to me. The headmaster could come and speak. Headmaster. They may not take it. But whenever I spoke, it was a law. It was a law. They will obey. By God's grace, I won their hearts. And they couldn't disobey my orders. They so respected me that most often in the fellowship in the school, they themselves will be coming. What was it? Attitude, character. We win the day. We win the stubbornness and the most wayward person in life. Let's pray that God will help us, that we shall apply these things. Let's rise up and pray. What have you heard? Do you have a teenager or adolescent? Or do you have a child? My mom, my dad, my uncle, my leader. If there can be any breakthrough, first and foremost, let us exhibit this attitude and character, and it will change them seriously and completely. Pray to God. Tell the Lord, Lord, touch my heart. If anybody needs to change, it is I who should change. It's not that stubborn boy or stubborn girl, but it is I as a parent who must change. If you are going to do that, something will take place. Something special is going to take place. Call upon the Lord. Tell the Lord, Lord, do something in my life. We can easily have them and bring them up in the fear of the Lord if we go the way of the Lord.